It is August 1st, opening day here at the Buoy 10, Super Bowl of salmon fishing. What other cheesy terms can we use? Today was a COHO rodeo. Let's throw that one out there. Let's see. In a world where fishing is a crime stands one man. Cody Herman is the Buoy 10 updater. I don't know, I got nothing. Well, here's how today went. My plan was to go out into the ocean and go whack and stack because the bite's been pretty good out there. But as soon as we settled down, folks weren't feeling so good. And as I've told you guys 100 times before, fishing is supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, you shouldn't be out there, especially if they're customers of mine. If they're paying me to have a good time and they're not having a good time, we're not going to stay out there. So we decided to head back inside and give it a shot. So I do actually have a report from the river. First of all, the ocean did really good once the tide flipped and started coming back in. The current was ripping out there, even outside. We're going west at about 4 miles an hour, so it was really moving fast. But as soon as we came back in, the tide settled down. I switched over to my bigger, heavier rods to run 16 ounces as opposed to my 10s and 12s out in the ocean, and put on a couple of spinners and the rest spinning fish. And we just kind of sat around and waited for that tide to flip. Right there at Buoy 10, basically between Buoy 10 and Buoy 12. And it was just kind of random, just one here, one there, not one boat caught more fish than the next. But what was really impressive was the amount of nets that I did see. And what's kind of curious is that it was all COHO, all COHO. I think I saw Terry Mulkey, maybe a one Shinook. I heard of a few other Shinook, but for the most part, almost all the catch, from what I heard at least, was COHO. We ended up keeping 7, which isn't bad at all for in the river, especially on August 1st, but they were all COHO. Every single one of them was COHO. I didn't even hook a Shinook today. And I think that could be for a couple of reasons. You know, I mentioned yesterday in the update that we had the rain that come through, and these are the tides that typically push the fish upriver. So I got a hunch that those Shinook just boogied right on upriver and bailed on us. But the COHO, there sure are a lot of COHO around. Guys out in the ocean, here in the river. It was fun. It was really good. So, I don't know. It was great. I can't believe that there's this many COHO around already. I hope that it continues. It didn't seem like it mattered. We got bit on Bronco, on Mexican Hat. We got bit on, spinning fish. That really didn't seem to matter what color. Every rod got bit, and every depth got bit. So it was just right place, right time, right fish. What was really cool is that these COHO were actually eating. Like, they weren't just coming up and just slapping at it. They were coming in and just inhaling it. That and the mark rate is really good too. We only released, I think, 2 or 3 COHO out of the 7 that we kept. So I'll take that mark rate all day long. That's excellent. Tomorrow, it looks pretty nice out there in the ocean. So I think I'm going to try and get out there and do that. But keep in mind, it is a pretty big outgo, so maybe starting a little bit later might be the key, especially since it didn't seem to matter being out there early this morning out in the ocean, or even here in the river for that matter. I don't think you need to be right there on the water first light. It's pretty big outgo, and those bigger outgoes are tough. When I was fishing upriver here a little bit later on in the tide, I expected to see a little bit more cooler water come up the Oregon side, but I really didn't. It was pretty warm water here on the Oregon side near the high slack, and that's going to be good later on in the season. But what we ran into today, probably the most frustrating thing for me today, was out in the ocean, it was jellyfish, and in the river, it was grass. I mean, we're checking lines every 5 minutes. It was exhausting to keep on telling folks, all right, bring it in, check it. All right, go put it back out. All right, bring it in, check it. Now let's do this one. Oh yeah, you're grassed up. Oh, you got jellyfish on. That was time consuming. So to have our lines out of the water that much and still end up with that many fish, we'll take it. Not a bad way to start the Buoy 10 season. I'm glad I actually got to fish inside the river. I think if I were to fish inside the river tomorrow, I'd probably start around 7, 8 o'clock, start a little bit later. Fish the wash-in side, probably, church hole on down to marker 1, and then just get ready for that flip on the income right there at Buoy 10. And I would sit there pretty much almost the entire income. It seemed like that had the most amount of fish. I tried to chase them upriver. Maybe I should have just stick and stay, made it pay, but I don't know. We got a lot of fish today considering the circumstances and everything else. Not a bad way to start the first day of the Buoy 10 season. Here we go. Cool, guys. time to go back, clean up the boat, get ready, switch out all my gear, get squared away for jumping out in the salt tomorrow. We will see you then with another Buoy 10 update. Later.